All right, so before I go into the nuts and bolts of how to enroll in courses at Frostburg State, there's just a couple of other pieces of information that I need to provide to you to make sure that you're doing things in the right order at the right time, so on and so forth. So let me go over those with you now. So it's really important that you are registering for courses when you are eligible to register for courses. And the best place to check for appropriate dates is really the academic calendar. The academic calendar can be found in a PDF version on the Frostburg State University main webpage, or it can be found online at this link. Now, this is an old academic calendar, but I'm going to use it anyway just for purposes of instruction. You will see that back in fall 2016, if we were looking at that semester, it would give you all of these important dates that gives you a lot of information about when you can register for classes. So you'll see up here, March 21st, registration guideline books available. Between March 28th and April 15th, this was the fall undergraduate registration period. Then you see the last day to register without late fees for undergrads and grads, so on and so forth. So really the best thing, my best piece of advisement would be always confer with the academic calendar to make sure that that you're enrolling in the right time frame. Also keep in mind that summer and intersession or winter registration is the same time for every single student across the university. Again, always refer to the academic calendar for the dates. Summer and intersession classes are all, seats are all on a first come, first served basis, so it's always best to register as soon as possible. There are typically very limited seats. And if you do not pay when you register, you will be disenrolled from the class. If you get disenrolled and you attempt to re-register, that seat may no longer be available. That's how coveted some of these seats are in some of these classes, so do not delay. Now, spring and fall registration is different for every student. Every student is given something called an enrollment appointment. In a previous video, you saw how to access that information, and it's available in PAWS. So you will see that for this student, it says that you may begin enrolling for the 2015 fall regular academic session on March 31st, 2015 at 1 p.m. If this student tried to register at noon on the same day, the student would be unsuccessful. Anytime after 1 p.m., it's just fine. So do keep that in mind for spring and fall. We get a lot of phone calls from very panicked students when it comes time for spring and fall registration because they forget about this appointment date, enrollment date. Okay, so just again to recap, for intersession and summer, registration start and end dates are the same for every student on a first come, first served basis. But for spring and fall, again, each student has an enrollment appointment which can be viewed in PAWS that indicates when each and every student may register for classes. It's important that I talk to you about service holds. So holds were also reviewed in a previous tutorial, and basically these are holds on your account that will prevent you from enrolling for classes if you do not resolve them. Now, it's important for me to tell you that the nursing department has no control over holds. We cannot put a hold on your account. We cannot remove a hold from your account. Holds come from departments outside of nursing. The most common type of hold is a billing hold, and we'll talk about that in the next slide. But there are also other things like conduct holds. So if you have not yet completed a mandatory course that Frostburg State requires of all students, even online students, you may have a conduct hold. which will prevent you from enrolling in classes and moving forward in your program until it's resolved. So again, refer back to the previous tutorial that teaches you how to find out what holds you have and how to resolve them. Also do keep in mind that depending on the type of hold it is, there may be some time to resolve that. And again, we have no control over that within the Department of Nursing. So please always work professionally and cordially with the other departments across campus, especially financial aid and billing. Okay, I think that covers that. Let's move on. If you do have a billing hold, which again is the most common type of hold for our students, you are to contact the billing office directly. And you'll see that I have their email address and their phone number here on this slide. Again, nursing faculty and staff we cannot remove holds from your account. Okay, and this is a slide that is reminding me to talk to you about the volume of emails that you will receive in your inbox with your FSU email account. I realize that there is a significant volume. For every email that you get as a student, I probably get 2 or 3, so I understand that the volume can be overwhelming. But before you just start massively deleting emails, it's important that you just take a second or two to peruse them to see if it's important. I'll give you an example. This last semester, we had a number of students with a conduct hold because they had not completed the Title IX mandatory training that's required of all students, including our online students. And it took them a number of hours to complete the training, and then it took a number of days for them to get that hold removed from their account, which delayed their registration and enrollment for the next semester. We don't want anything like that to happen to you, so make sure that you keep up with your emails. I know, again, I do apologize for the volume, but it's important. Prior to enrollment and registration, you will receive a number of emails reminding you about this. You'll get emails from the Office of the Registrar. You'll get an email from the BSN Program Resource Center, but you do need to review those. Additionally, each individual advisor has their own format for registration and enrollment. Some advisors, I would say the majority of advisors, tell their advisees to enroll for all open courses on their own and just register students for closed classes. We have a couple of advisors that register every student for every class. So it's important that you get to know what your advisor expects of you, and you'll learn that in your orientation course. Again, please make sure that you follow the directions from your advisor in order to ensure that you register in time. Late fees are assessed if students do not register by a certain date. And please remember that there's that 48-hour communication policy. So if you email an instructor on Friday night at 8:59 p.m. and enrollment ends, say, on a Monday, you're not giving them that 48-hour period of time before you end up registering late and having to pay that extra fee. So please do not wait for the last minute. Please make sure that you are prepared for registration and enrollment in plenty of time. Okay, thank you very much for your time.